Later Bank of America sued Bear Stearns, Geoffrey Tanning, and MC Margarial for allegedly hiding the fund's true condition. As part of the lawsuit, the bank also claimed that it had gotten a verbal agreement from Geoffrey that the would bought certain hit rigs ascend into the new CDOs, but that Geoffrey ignored that agreement. There was one set in particular to Bank of America singled out in its complaint and said that quickly lost out its value. Goldman's Timberwolf deal. His lawsuit was also ongoing as of the fall of 2010. By the time the Bank of America deal closed, the firms were in serious trouble. Investors had demanded had half their money back from enhanced leverage, leaving Sophie and Tanning with little choice but to wind in down. Tanning athletes cement to finally recognize that the gin was up. In late May, a beer salesman announced good news. Tokyo Marine wanted to invest $10 million in the high-grade fund. The intending heard the news. He asked for a meeting with Drew Quental, who was the head of Bear Stearns Asset Management's head fund fund business. After the meeting, Quental announced that the Bear funds wouldn't be taking any new investments. At the end of May, Sophie emails Spector, his longtime supporting and Bear worried, "I am almost too embarrassed to call you." He wrote, "I feel especially badly because you have been a big supporter of mine for so long. Have no apologies or meaningless at this stage, but I am sorry. Emotionally, I am obviously keeping a business as unusual person at work and on the job 24/7. I assure you are of that, but it is very stressful and strange when it looks like one's business is collapsing around him. We are running out of options." More bad news was coming. A few weeks earlier, Bear had told investors in the angel leverage fund that it had lost 6.5% in April, but at meeting on May 31, Bear Stearns Pricing Committee, which determined the fund's returns by sovereign of its counterparties, were making the securities decide the funds had actually lost percent in April. One key reason for the stunning change was Goldman's low marks. According to SEC, CFE tried to argue that his original marks were right when they had waved up the wrote in emails to a member of the pricing committee. There is no market. It's sick academic annual percent in Domesday, which in fact it was. Will be called and did prevent it investors from taking their money out accommodating when he found investors trying to exit at once. It was powerless to do anything about the repo lenders. It's like borrowing from the devil times three, says one person who was who are speaking of the repo lenders. They can come and say, "You pay me," and you can do nothing. There are no rules, and you have no ability to see where they market the same asset on their own books. It's a grab. On June 12, Sophie Group to Tanning and George Boxon, who worked in Bear's private client service. Right now, we are fixing the barrel of the bulk with her repo lenders. So far, so good, but it is very tough and stressful. He was trying to convince the lenders that if they grabbed the collateral and tried to sell into a shaky market, everyone would get hurt. After all, beer team argued they all had the same positions and panicked sellers would return theoretical declines in the market value of the securities into hard cash flows. The men were also deeply frustrated with Wall Street repo desks were demanding money, the trading desks and the same firms were refusing to reflect the value of the beer team's short positions. They were being squashed from both sides. The pressure was tremendous, says one person who was there, and everyone was scared. And June Iber held a meeting with the repo lenders to try to call deals. Ultimately, according to House of Cards, William Cohn's book about the fall of beer stamps, the beer executives gave a presentation showing the exposure the rest of the street had to the firm hit fund overall 16 Wall Street firms and lent the funds $12.1 billion in the repo market. Among them were Citi with nearly $1.9 billion outstanding and Merrill Lynch with 1.46 billion outstanding. A few days later, one firm broke from the pack. Merrill Lynch says a million in collateral which it said it could sell on the open market.